Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mughals series here on the Lord Master channel. As you could see, it feels like almost all of India is united except for the very south. Well, then again, that depends on your perception. Are we uniting India or are we conquering India? I mean, after all, it's ruled by an Afghan dynasty, and yet we decided some decades ago under Babur Lodi, where we decided to become more tolerant empire instead of a proletizing empire to try to convert all the counties, all the provinces I should say, to Islam. But we've come to the realization that that idea isn't practical, so we had to appeal to the Hindus. So this is the only much of Sunni you'll see in our borders, except for the ones that's already been established there. And of course, a small number of Sikhs in and around. And knowing more and more of these provinces will be taken will be Hindu. With a Buddhist minority of different schools such as Vajrayana and the Theravada. But anyways. So, we're about to start another war, which will be against Assam, who's allied with Vijayanagar, so no doubt we'll be taking more gains off of them, while we will only take Assam itself. Not interested for this bit. Not because I don't have any claims to it. I mean, we have a new casus belli, and that's called imperialism, where you can start a war against any country at your own will. And also, you may have noticed to your right, bunch of stock exchanges that are being built, which by next spring, the trade powers all over the country of the trade nodes that we control will jump up. Will jump up greatly. Even when we expand further south into the Coromandel trade node, which we do not have it the full control, but after this war, well, that may soon change. Especially when we increase the trade ideas, when we get new ideas from trade, such as having more trade range, efficiency, another merchant, steering, and caravan power especially. And then when you complete trade ideas, you get another merchant. And of course, combined with, oh, where is it? It's around here somewhere, or look it up on policies. I could have sworn that it would have given you another merchant. Oh, again, I'm just using it from memory from the Croatian series. As far as interest in trade is concerned. But I really do like what I see in that policy, further reduction of idea costs and institution spread, which kind of possibly negates the need for innovative ideas. Because for innovative, it gives you more innovativeness. Technology costs, institution embracement cost reduction even further. Spread. Leaders about upkeep is always attractive. But if you finish that, advisor cost is reduced. And as Mughals, you can establish this. Of course, we are a bit late for that, which will give you a further reduction in idea cost. So it's possible that that this one for innovative ideas may be unnecessary, because this is what this is for. When we complete the trade ideas. And look. You can only, that's okay, you can have a few more policies, but imagine this. Having 2 of these for trade efficiency, which means you get a lot of fortune out of that. Because this is what trade efficiency is for. How efficient your nation is at trading, and to base how much income you can get out of your merchants. That's what they mean by that. But of course, our mercantilism percentages isn't strong compared to the other countries, because we're not really a mercantile type of nation. No, We're an expansionist, obviously, nation. Hell-bent on expanding to any direction of where it wants to go to. Which many people have done Mughals playthrough for world conquest, but for me, I'm not really interested in world conquest. That's not really my thing. The idea of this series in general is, look, our first major goal was completed decades ago with Fateh Sikri and Adin il-Ilahi, in which we're continuing on the legacy of the divine faith with these humanist ideas and high level of tolerance towards heathens. Conquering the Deccan and the Coromandel coast will complete the second major goal of the Mughal series. And I'm sure beyond 1700s, all the way to the end of that timeline, it'll just be, well, I think it'll be dedicated to, you know, going to Burma, possibly through there, as you can see that's highlighted over there. Or go further down, always to Malacca. Or even go as far as southern China. That's what I'm willing to do. I'm just following the missions like a good soldier who follows orders. Because that's the kind of player that I am. I just like to follow certain missions until, well, you can't do them anymore. And plus, this is, I don't know if anybody's ever done, I mean, ever since the release of the Leviathan DLC, that's the reason why I have this one playthrough of Croatia and another here, which was originally Delhi, before we evolved into Mughals, because of a lucky event that I got. We've been that way since 1488. And so, that's how it's been. Oh yeah, and I forgot about that part of the mission, which you have to control Samarkand, Tabriz, Qom, Mashhad. All these areas, which will give you permanent claims. Oh, a claim, but not permanent. For Persia, Khorasan, Transoxiana, Aris, Transcaspia, Khiva, Vargana. None. A claim, but not permanent claim. There's a difference, you see. So I may never know that I'll go west, too. Then, of course, by that time, we would be bordering with the Ottomans, which is our #1 enemy right now, even though we never fired a shot at them. Well, we only did that because, I don't know, one would think that there can only be one there can only be one superpower in Asia. One would think. As we are #1 great power from Asia. And the Ottomans is a great power from Europe because they based their capital over there. If we only get a monthly income up to 1,000, we become an economic hegemon. That'd be interesting. But not naval, because there's no way we can, I mean, we don't have the naval force limit. We would have to expand the coast further, especially further down this way. Military, gotta have a 1,000. That won't happen. Unless I am hell-bent on building a lot of conscription centers for increased land force limit. Know that. Or they mean by standing for the total number of soldiers. But I could see becoming an economic hegemon. Even though we're quite far off from it. Which is why I went for trade ideas. I mean, for goodness sakes, most of the income we make is from taxation and production. I'm sure in time trade will catch up. 37, that's the total. That's the total income, you see. So yeah, we spent a good 10 minutes explaining all of this, of what the future of the Mughal series is going to be like, as we'll soon be entering into the 1700s, which will probably be another episode or two down the line. But right now, let's start the war with Assam. But imperialism. So not just take the land that we have a permanent claim to, but also to go up there and take their capital, which is what this other army is for. And we'll be fighting against not only Vijayanagar, as we mentioned before, but also Landna over here. So we'll be dealing with them again. So it'll be imperialism. Here's the difference. 100% aggressive expansion and 100% cost for, but for imperialism it's 75% aggressive expansion and 75% cost for all provinces. So it'll be easier because this is a new type of warfare. So let us go. They got an old castle then. You know, you're not the siege guy, but I am. We'll be heading straight for the capital. You're gonna deal with Lan Na, as they have no manpower and very little units. We'll begin our usual advance. Kick the fleet out of there. You take Vijayanagar, take Parakunda, and take Udayagiri. If anyone gets involved with a fight, the army will join up. And we already blockade. It's too bad I don't have any coastal forts. But one thing's for certain. Vijayanagar, the capital, will finally fall to the Mughal Empire. But do not underestimate them. But apparently we caught them off guard. We cannot advance beyond this point because that fort there. And this is all their ships. That's their only fleet. Too close. Now begin. They need help a little more. Because that one's a castle, this one doesn't have a fort, other than it's a capital fort. You begin your advance to there. Sunk them all but one. That's captured and added to our collection. After 39 days. That's a record. Mop up the rest. They could still cross the strait, but it's much proper to put them in a position like that because the blockading forts gets us all this fortune. You really love saying that word, fortune. This one's a bastion, so this is a hard clam to crack on that one. So yeah, not going anywhere. Janagar has fallen. We'll be with you shortly. In case you got yourself in a situation. Sweden? What are you doing? It's interesting that you ask us from this far away. Didn't think you would take the time to send your diplomat all the way down here. Walls breached already. You're doing well. Despite the fact that you have no siege skill. You're only a shockman. Oh, Daegery's fallen. We're gonna keep backing them in the corner. We'll soon take care of this as soon as Assam is taken. Got him. Assam's finally fallen. Take him out. Help him with this. I've always wanted to go back to mysticism, so you know it's going to be hard pressed to do that because of each month. And it's going to keep going back that way no matter what. And plus we're upgrading the Taj Mahal, but I think those days of mysticism are over and it's full on legalism. Which one would think it's like, have we really truly gone back to Orthodox Islam? Not quite, because the humanist policies to take in, we're just continuing the legacy that that my father did. When I say father, Alam Gary as a reminder, son of Babur. And we've really doubled the size of the empire since then. With these great gains that we're making, and still. Mop up the rest. Not going anywhere. It's the only one. Till 1695, the Mughal Golden Era will finally end. And we've really expanded big time. You want out? Pillage, war reparations. No, I'm gonna take my sweet time with this. Because I have a habit of occupy their entire country and then we talk peace. You sometimes do that, which is a way to how to bankrupt a country. That's how you bankrupt countries that way. You just occupy the whole thing, they can't make an income, they keep taking loans after loans, and if they keep losing their income, then they have no choice but to go into bankruptcy. Does that make me a bad guy? Depends. Here's the trade range. Again, we don't have the trade range to reach Canton, for example. We have nothing on Alexandria, which is pretty valuable. Nothing on Aleppo. Nothing on Crimea. That's just examples. But we can't know for certain, based on our geographical position. We'll know in a month when it's registered regarding trade range. That got him. As it was expected. Alright, now we have the trade range to reach to the Canton trade node. Hangzhou. Philippines, yes. Even the Moluccas as well. Zanzibar. Zambezi. Aleppo, yes, we have the range for it. But unfortunately not Alexandria unless we expand further west. Let me guess. English channel, highest valued. No, it's Persia. That's rather tempting. How did Persia get so valued? Now you have aroused me on the Persia trade. Huh. Wait, honestly, we would have gone for Samarkand, but we have no trade power there because of Ankara. But I could see doing imperialist wars. I mean, we never saw each other eye to eye because they're Shia and belong to a different school. But they do respect the Hanafi, and we respect the Jafari school. Is that correct? We have respect for Maliki and Jafari school. We only hate the Zaidi school, which I don't know who follows that. You have to look close into that. It's Jafari. All Maliki down there. No, nobody seems to follow that. Oh, everybody's Class A, everybody's Hanafi. Nobody in their right mind would follow that school. And let me show you. In fact, I don't think it exists. At least as far as changing it is concerned. Plus, it has a bunch of requirements if you were to do that. And as a reminder, what is Hanafi does? That's for reduction cost of administrative tech. Remember the missions of the areas that you must control. Not surprisingly, the vast majority of troops are stationed over in Great Britain itself. And I'm sure others in other colonies. Which is yet to be discovered. Because I want to know what it looks like over there. Whereas in a Croatian playthrough, in a Croatian series, it's much different of what America looked like. Okay, they're fully occupied. Return. Their war is over. But no pillaging. Just the money, the war reparations. And I guess transfer some trade power for me, simply for the sake of it other than prestige. Since we're becoming a bit trade intensive these days. We'll go as far as there, then we'll end that war. Quiet. Ever since the start of Alamgir's reign, it has been clear that his heart lies with the Afghan. In time, the palace halls of Fatehpur Sikri have come to echo in merry conversations entirely held in the Afghan language. Even the Hindavi nobles have taken to using the language of the Padishah. Perhaps it's time to codify the special status of the Afghan culture. Why on earth would I want to do that? We could never dishonor the legacy of our ancestors. By the way, that's the event I was talking about, is what led to the creation of the Mughal Empire. In case you are one of those viewers that started watching this part of the series later than the one that began. Hey! Catch any of them. Sunk one. Sunk another. We're occupying the coast. There goes another. Can call Yarkand in, but there's no need for that. Sunk another. One more. And sunk... No, we captured this one. Okay. I've already been Yob enough. Areas that I have claims to, but Vijayanagar will probably cost a lot. Yeah. A lot. We'll try to get as much out of it as we can. Before the next one, obviously. But unfortunately we will stop short of Mysore. And as much money as you can have. Okay, there you go. Well, there goes all that diplomatic power. As much as I would like to get more for trade ideas. But you wanted to complete the mission as early as possible. We never engaged in land combat with them. Just only naval. So, where's their new capital now? South Kanara. We have taken a well-developed territory now, which will add more to the income. And no doubt that governing capacity will continue to increase. So we should have control of all of India. I mean, I may include this at a later time. And possibly Lanka too. Come on, get. I'm only interested in that and that only, so it'll be easier. Just that, and that's that. Now give me all your money. And the reparations. And trade power. No need to pillage. Did you see Vijayanagar down there? Minus 621. And you can't do a thing about it. This is just to complete the mission. Well done. This is to complete that mission. Now we have permanent claims on Kachin, Chindwin, Upper Burma, Naga Hills, and Shan Hills. Part of the Upper Burma campaign. Across the Arakanese Mountains lies a land rich in minerals and precious stones. Upper Burma is also an inhospitable region, home to the warlike Shan people that have fought over the centuries. However, such a source of rubies, greater than any other on Earth, we could never resist. So control these areas. You have to fight against Manipur, Ava, and Tongu. And after that, that leads to the road to China. And don't forget that this would also be concurrent with the Lower Burma campaign. Even if we have to fight against this great power. So if we dare to go that way, well, they're going to give us hard time. That's what the British are for. And let us improve relations with them. They don't have the money. Fair enough. The Assamese are assimilated. What are we missing? Oh, hold on. Benign neglect. It seems that the government that governs that least governs the best as far as those outside our power concerned are not involved in Golconda's affairs. Have proved beneficial and the local economy is booming. If it moves, tax it. In 2 years' time. What are we missing on the Western area? Wait a minute. Senhalis. Well, son of a beeswax. No wonder why we couldn't complete that. I've overlooked these Senhalis. I keep forgetting that they're Indo-Aryans. Because the Dravidians of the south kind of overshadow that. Well, the old man finally croaked. Think of that. Controlling Lanka. That would add more production efficiency, meaning even more income. That's from the Spoils Award. Too bad we don't have anyone talented right now. And not real anxious to level this up yet. But hey, more governing capacity since you're becoming more and more concerned the further you expand. And I'm sure one day we will fight them again. Possibly against Assam, just to kick their tail one more time as a way of, I don't know, to fight against them. Trying to find ways. Although we may fight them in the future as well. Part of that mission line to an open China. Business is booming. Thanks to our shrewd commerce practice, merchants are being attracted to our realm and our trade efficiency has increased in the result. Excellent news. There's your efficiency. Oh, this. Oh, I do have the money. So let's prohibit animal slaughter. That's reduction of state maintenance. We'll be spending a big time. The LM will be less low, but we'll keep loyalty with the giants. Small difference, but it'll do. But until then, everybody go drill. Because you're starting to slack. And also thought about increasing the size of the military to 1 or 2 more armies. So we could definitely cover on all fronts. Demands for representation. A number of hostile publications begin to circulate in the cities of the Mughal Empire. Anonymous, yet very critical authors claim that our government is autocratic and demand both written constitution and a parliament where various parts of a country can be represented. Well, we did give some to the Jains, but this is for 2 areas, so make vague promises of reform. So I just tell them, yeah, sure, but I can't guarantee it. I can't guarantee everything. I am this state. Oh boy. I'm surprised Muscovy never became Russia in this playthrough. In Croatia, Muscovy did become Russia. They're at war again. Speaking of states. as per usual. You're starting to run out of room. If you want to reduce that, well, you got to build buildings that reduces governing capacity. For example, these town halls. Oh, this again. It seems that the absolutism that's been going on in this country. So those tensions starting to creep up, but not in this country that is fully tolerant towards heathens, highly stable. It ain't gonna happen under Alamgir's watch. I can tell you that right now. But I'm willing to rest and be content. And also develop for the last frickin' time. Develop Ajmer. It's ready to be developed. This land is ready to be utilized. Just for reference, knowing that I'm going to develop the heck out of this territory soon, so it would be better to have a manufactory and then a workshop to go along with that. Loose slips. That's the reason why we keep getting those kind of notifications. Wait a minute. For how long? Foreign spy detection. Hey! Let's try this again. Because I kind of want to steal their maps. But of course it requires, you know, a few things. We now have the dominant trade power here. Even though we don't have a merchant present down there. So there's no reason for that. There's more value in Bengal, so send it here. Oh, good. It's just finished. Now we have an increase in Navy tradition. And a naval force modifier. Now, how much is it to get it up to 3rd tier? We'll have a reduced cost of having an admiral. 5,000! Well, yeah, it'll be worth it. So it'll be done in 1725. Busy building. Okay. Whereas we're busy with upgrading the Taj Mahal, which I could increase it. I may invest in that, but not necessarily use up the manpower. Because I plan on, again, creating 2 more armies. So yeah, after years of heavily expanding... Hang on. Monarchs often struggle often struggling to subdue the nobility and secure their standing in the eyes of their peers. The rise of firearms has reduced the nobles' role as warriors, but left them with, in the eyes of the monarchs, too much idle time. In order to dazzle the nobles and keep them occupied, sorry, I got a little distracted. Many monarchs are increasingly creating grand new palaces and introducing elaborate court rituals. The Mughal Empire is no different, and we have instructed our chief architect to draw up plans for a new palace to be built. Keep it at the max. Why the heck not? I got money to burn. Build this palace. Oh. What's going on with this thing? Reason I'm distracted because I'm kept looking out of the window to my right because I'm seeing rain clouds again. We don't want to have that one incident in one of those episodes of that Croatian series where a thunder struck nearby and killed my internet. And that was interesting. And plus the sound of the thunder, which did pick up on the mic, sounded like a musket when it went off. Agricultural revolution. We managed to increase our agricultural production in Assam by implementing new farming techniques for plantations, irrigation, and land properties organizations, and thereby bringing higher tax income to our state. Assam. Does it have it's got a workshop, barracks, castle, farm estate. But the problem is, base production is too low. Our manufacturers will benefit. And that area is pretty well developed too. I get a feeling that later on in the 1700s, as much as I want to get more monthly income, I'm gonna start building a bunch of manufactories all over the country. I believe you have most of them present. If not, then build it. This needs a university, so I can develop it a little further. Textile, but no workshop. Because you need that production efficiency. Because that's how you get the trade value up, and that's how you get your money through trade. Textile, but no workshop. Tisk, tisk, tisk. This definitely needs it. So that's what I'm investing on currently. You got a textile, it's got a workshop. Okay, good. It's got a workshop and no textile. Come on. Think of the income that's gonna bring. Workshop, textile. Thumbs up. Textile, but no workshop. Come on, folks. Textile, but no workshop, but... one doesn't hurt. Textile, workshop. I know it's part of a different trade note, but still. What is that? Textile for dyes. You gotta have that too. And it's got a workshop. The money it'll be bringing. Don't you know that you have 33% of the silk trade in the world, you have 26% of the dye trade, you have 27% in cotton trade. You are doing very well. And my goodness, the spice trade. Get to work. It's got a trading station, a trade station, but no workshop. Although we'll encourage development here, so no Ajmer will be maybe for a little later. Only the ones that'll give you a big price. Because the amount of goods produced increases the trade value. That's what this is for. Man, those previous owners never really cared about the spice trade. I'm ashamed of them. Yeah, increase that value a bit and then it'll be beneficial. Because Bengal here is the most valuable. Now the real question is, how did Persia get so valuable? What do they have over there? There's some spices, there's wool, there's gems, cloth, silk. Aha! That explains it. And a bit of tea as well. And they do have textile manufactories. They also got paper and dyes. Now listen, we don't have a mission that says anything about dominating trade or whatnot. But still, I'm far more interested in the future, which is may or may not be wishful thinking, of increasing our monthly income. Especially when we put merchants all over the trade nodes that we have full control to. Well, full control. You have the strongest trade power in. So that's what I'm doing in peacetime. Workshop. But no manufacturing. Get a university for another building. For development. Workshop but no manufacturing. Another university. Give me it. Now we're trying to increase the value of Gujarat since I have a merchant present there. So I'll try to increase the value on that. And I'll eventually work on Lahore. Workshop, manufacturing. Okay, good. Workshop, no manufacturing. University. Workshop, no manufacturing. No workshop, no manufacturing. There's room for two, so good. Yep, this is what has come to in this part of the series. Get set. Let's make Mughals in the future a economic hegemon to compete with the Europeans. They say during the very peak of Aurangzeb's reign, despite all the things that he did, but he inherited the richest country at one point in the world in its history. Yes. Brahmins, of course, then we invest prosperity in our lands for there. Base tax up. Think about that. Even though you're already loyal to us. The entrepreneurs of the giants are going and ask that we invest in the province's production infrastructure. So that's... have a workshop there. I'll keep that well in mind. The Rajputs of Vijayanagar request that we fund the construction of a new farm estate. I'm glad all of you say, it's like, hey, let's invest in this. And the others say, hey, why don't we have a workshop there? Which will eventually lead to manufacturing there eventually, if there's room. While the Rajputs say, let's have a manufacturer over there. I like your thinking. And apparently Vijayanagar never had a manufactory. But it was previous something. That's Ahmednagar. Vijayanagar's down there. You got a workshop but no factory? Well, to be fair, we've been kicking the out of this country. Well, there's cotton, so that's also pretty important, since you also have control of the cotton trade of the world's. Oh yeah. Again, all over, so be ready for more merchants. Textile, but no workshop. University, that's what this means. So we can develop some of these later. Oh, just ran out of money. Well, just wait till a month. Wait 1 month. And then we'll get to work on it. So, I'm not interested in developing an army. I just want to increase the income of this country. Trade efficiency. As a reminder for you people. This is how much income we can get out of my merchants. And we're still far ahead of time before we even think about leveling up a tech. And I guess we better start investing in counting houses, because that adds even more production efficiency to what we're already working on. Because we might get this sooner than you think. So might as well. Pay attention. Which you could say, my God, you are really making a lot of money. Oh, you just wait. It jumped up. Here it is. Business is really booming. Oh, just wait till we get another merchant and I will likely send it down there. Or the Deccan. Whichever has a higher trade value that I'm willing to, you know, send it to. Lahore, unfortunately, doesn't make as much. I could work on it, but some of the other merchants are being sent forward to other places of those that are present from the other countries. And apparently the most valuable trade node is Persia, which is rather tempting for me to come over there. What's this? Near maximum monarch power. Oh yeah. Oh, well, we definitely got to get this, because governing capacity, knowing we'll be expanding again in the future, as it's nearly at capacity, but we'll aim to change that. For the innovativeness, for the governing capacity, for the counting houses in future. See how much now. Well, wait 1 month. Okay, there it is. Now you could definitely hold more land. We can hold the rest of southern India and Lanka too. And as well as for the eastern conquests. If we're really that interested. Because look, the size of our military is strong enough to take on any of them. Except maybe them, which I believe we can overcome. We can and will overcome. Even we have to deal with their... They might give it a run for its money. Even fighting against Japan, which you have to be dealing with their navy, and the Japanese navy. So, that's more than you bargain. But the truce of Manipur will expire soon, so we could begin the Upper Burma campaign first, as Manipur is under attack by Tonga. Kham is gonna help out. Dalai Lama, so they're gonna get their share. So now we know who we're gonna be dealing with. So we'll have to let this go, just let it happen before we even think about advancing. As we will continue to drill our troops so we could be ready for the next war. While we will invest heavily. Speaking of, money and all that, knowing where I'm gonna get spent on. Free money. Workshops, universities, finished. Well, except for this one workshop and this one university. So we can develop some of the other areas that do not have manufactories a little later. Unless you want to build a manufactory and just remove, some of these old castles. I mean, they're not going to go anywhere again. You already got them on the ropes. Oh, and do not forget that you also want to develop a few areas in order to get this up. So, university here. Just one example. And since you have taken control of Vijayanagar, you would have to get this up again. So there you have it. This can be developed easily. It's got cloth, manufacturing, textile. Textile's name of the game. Textile workshops. But watch where you're spending. I think you may want to start investing in the newly upgradable counting houses, which will add even more trade value and all that. Starting with here at our capital, because look how much it gets out of it. And being ahead of time of administrative tech also helps. And the goods produced. Even though we don't have a merchant present in Doab trade node, but again, you're still going to get a lot of fortune out of it. Now Bengal is much more valuable. And there's Bengal, that's the total value trade node, but Persia is way up. Perhaps, maybe. No manufactory here. But I'll be sure to add a manufacturer here. Paper is pretty valuable. But, it had its day. Yeah, I've become manufacturing intensive. It's like not only Mughals is strong militarily, but now we're becoming more and more industrial, thus increasing our income to unbelievable heights. And we're gonna keep using the said money to increase the efficiency and all that. Manipur is fully occupied to see the territorial changes soon, as soon as comes out of the war. We'll keep watch. Oh. Damn it, they know too much. I'm not here to fabricate any claims. I was just trying to ask if you got any maps to spare. I know you don't have the money, but man, if you had that money right now, oh boy. Counting houses, here we go. Have we become that greedy? Iron ore quality problems. One of our iron ore mines has some lower quality iron ore. This made outfitting our units more expensive. I'm sure we have enough men anyway. It's only for 2 years. So, as a reminder, don't build an army in the next 2 years. 40 from Bengal. Because of the increase. Well, it may go up even further once these textile manufactories are built. But I still await for you until you get that money. Nope, they just went to war. British Mexican Imperialist War. Is it part of British Mexico? No. We don't know where they are. Wait, hell, we have no knowledge on the Americas. We know they have colonies, but we have nothing else on them beyond that. Here comes another merchant. Getting trade ideas in a hurry. Okay. So, Gujarat gives us pretty much, but the value of the trade note isn't much. And knowing one day that we'll be controlling, you know, most of that trade. So I think you should probably send a merchant over here. So collect it. Khusra Nazirun is his name. So we'll know how much we'll get out of it. Production research flawed. The new techniques in our production is rumored to be flawed, leading several nobles argue that we should discard them and go back to the old and tried methods instead. We'll ignore them. We'll get that prestige back up. And by the way, having a high amount of prestige affects global trade power. It doesn't affect production. Okay, watch how much we're going to get out of it. 14. Pretty good. But obviously that means 200 a month. Calm is out of the war, so we're about to see territorial changes shortly. Are they going to fully annex them or just take a big chunk out of it? Okay, now we see. We could just say, jump them and bring them up. Right here, right now. But our army's still in the middle of drilling, but I think you're good enough. Yeah, all of us are pretty good enough, except for you. You're a bit slacking. But I think you could... We'll be dealing with them soon. Now keep in mind, this is going to be for the Upper Burma campaign, for the start. Doubt we will get this. So it's a tributary. And I'm sure they're probably going to make them be guaranteed to hold independence and all that. So stop drilling. Get to position. Yeah, guess we're gonna start setting up for the next war. No longer transfer trade power to Mughals. Aha. Good reason. What did I tell you? Imperialism. But one day I may expand westward. What the hell's going on over there? Spanish conquest of Jerba. The Jerba. So they fought against Tunis, and Tunis is an ally to the Ottomans. My goodness, they got themselves into a massive war. Now obviously the Spanish are coming out on top because they have unmatched manpower reserves. Because they got quality. Even on their best day, the Ottomans can't keep up with the Spanish. So I'm sure they will make gains there, but I doubt they'll go all the way to there. Keeping the Mamluks in the dark about this. But they don't like the Ottomans, but they have their other reasons. So, as a reminder, for the remainder of the 1700s, Burma, southern China, Malacca, and then the quest to become an economic hegemon by taking Samarkand and Persia trade nodes entirely. Possibly Hormuz as well. And maybe beat the heck out of the Ottomans in a humiliation war and give us reparations, and then we make a lot more than you can imagine. Because we're trying to get this up and we'll be halfway there. I think by 1700 we'll be halfway there on the amounts that we make. But we're about to start a war. So don't mess with it, just leave this alone. In fact, it'll be good timing when it's finished in 1700 because the monthly splendor. Because you'll be going up to this next stage. And you want to get all the good benefits that you can. Ready? Imperialism. So, we'll fight Ava as well. You got your 3 places selected. Got it. As you were. The Janagar's not involved. This'll be a quickie. How dare you? Get up here. You're the siege man. I'm the siege man. Another reason why I kept the other armies drilling. Trying to get up to the army professionals. It's not going to be till around the 1700s we'll be a professional army. And it won't cost us much to get newer generals. Oh, and these territories, you got any workshops and manufactories? No? Plus it's tropical woods, it's kinda But the price is up. And plus you aren't taking areas that aren't as well developed. So don't bother. Oh, you tempt me. But I only care about the areas in the subcontinent where trade values are higher. We can't go here. Hey, open up. Now swarm them. Well, what do you know? There's an army. Got him. Good timing. Can't move. We can go to their fort, but not, you know, the last bit of territory. So that's gonna have to wait. Sufi syncretism. The Assam area gets a little bit more autonomy. That reminds me, the Sufis. There's this other mission which you gotta get their influence higher, up to 60, and give them 3 privileges, since we do have control of all of the Sufi shrines in India. And this would make you move towards mysticism even more. But I think it's wishful thinking at this point. We'll probably never have 100% mysticism, because we're well past that period. Oh, we got a sage guy. Now, keep drilling. We're not expected to fight Vijayanagar again until the late 90s. Income bonanza. Our merchants have managed to gain an advantage over other merchants, though this advantage won't last forever. Now our merchants are cashing in. Most excellent news. Much more trade power in Bengal for 10 years. Good. Good to see that. Ah, crap. Disease outbreak. Wonder if it affects me personally. Oh, really? There might be an uprising. Give them 1% of land with more autonomy. I mean, after all, I have been making great gains and I've been getting a lot more crownland. If I had my druthers, I would love to sell the titles to all of them, but... Yeah, the Brahmins have a little too much. You deserve it. Let it slide. You do deserve it. Because we're still going to be making gains no matter what. I'll be having much more and more crown land than usual. And then they're going to want some good land. And I'll give it to them. Not quite there yet. Take it. Wonder how much diplomatic power that I'll be spending for full annexation. Alright. We cannot take their territories, but what can I do? Not pillage, obviously. That costs diplomatic power. Just give me the damn money. Because I'm willing to... Oh, and also transfer trade power. Since I'm all about trade these days. Wait. Steer their trade. The merchants forced to steer trade to me. I make more money that way. Forget about trade power. You got the trade power. I think. Do you dominate Burma? Barely. And plus there's some prestige out of this. And it don't cost you nothing. Thank you for your business. Get out of there. No. You will be conquered. And what little money you got. And it don't cost me nothing because I have legitimate claims to them. Very little. Because these are not well-developed territories. You're next. And since Manipur is conquered, you're no longer, you know, a tributary. So whoever you make friends to, we'll deal with them next time. Yeah, one more on that. Trade manipulation. This is for trade steering increase. That's what it was. Defensive ideas. The Armed Neutrality Act you see there. That's how you get another merchant. Because the Croatian series started off with defensive ideas. Hang on. Narasad Tiruvati is a powerful landowner and political influencer among our Telugu subjects. And we have had a working relationship with him. He's always been quick to know what it is that the state needs and what it could perhaps do for him in return. His name is often mentioned when discussing candidates for the Council of State. While he would in many ways be such a good fit for the position, and it would undoubtedly also greatly influence an already powerful man and his clients. Yes. Woof. Or just get him in. Which I would definitely replace him since that man's getting old. And I'll take that prestige hit. Bring him in. Even though the Telugu, no, they're not fully assimilated yet. So I'll make note of it the next time I fight against Vijayanagar to take the last bit of territory, the last couple of territories Well, that and the Telugu people. So we can assimilate both the Kannadiga and the Telugu peoples. Kannadiga is an alternate name of the Kannada. In case if you weren't paying attention of what I just pronounced. It would be wise to go down and see if we could take parts of Lanka. So that way, when you assimilate them, you will have the production efficiency. Think about that. Want you to think about that. These are about to be finished next year. Including that one. Now get back to drilling, everybody. I want all armies to be fully drilled. So everybody can live up to their fullest potential of what the Mughal military is like. And we have the naval force limit for it. I mean, I could invest in building more heavy ships just to make our navy even more powerful than it needs to be. There goes our good man. Two fire, 3 shock, 4 maneuver. Naval equipment manufacturing in Ajmer is complete. Really? Of course you're gonna go with them. More innovativeness. How much innovative can we get? Our artist just died. Damn. Then again, do you want to make more? Here it is. But we'll have a slow gain, not willing to promote him yet. Decline of the spice trade. Hold on, slow it down here. With the increasing amount of competitors in the spice market, the availability of once extremely rare spices of the East has increased drastically in the West. While some have tried to stabilize the spice price by burning what they produce or imposing stricter rules for its export, it now seems clear that the profitability of the business has taken a permanent downturn. Oh, dang. That hurts. I was investing in the spice, but now the price has dropped. About to reach 10,000. But once these textile manufacturers of this, once the manufacturers and trade station of this finished, start investing in counting houses for even more production efficiency. Because look where we are now. We are getting closer to 500. I think our ruler just died. Our old monarch died a little too soon. Oh dear. Well, you do have the administrative power to get it back up again. So, keep it stable. Oh dear, she's 52. We won't be getting much out of this, but when Bahadur Shah grows up, so I don't know how long she can last. Otherwise, we will go into a Regency Council for a few years, meaning we can't declare any wars, which wasn't planning on it anyhow. Unless you want to start the campaign against them. Which you'll be dealing with a heck of a force. But never lose sight of your interests in production. Don't lose sight of that goal now. Obviously. Idea or policy that allows them to. Policy? What policy that allows female generals? I don't think I ever heard such a thing. Because it has to be military related, right? No, it does not say anywhere. But there is an idea, or national idea, that allows female generals. There's only one country that has it. Brigand. Okay, here we go. About to invest here. Actually, wait for the farm estate in Vijayanagar to be finished. It's part of the mission from the diet that you've summoned. Hang on. It's a coming. In Vijayanagar, the area, not the country. Base manpower up. Local goods produce modifier from that area. Fine by me. As a reminder, it's 481 a month. I mean, that's total. Not necessarily how much we're making right now. But you get what I'm saying. So now production income is starting to overtake taxation because I've been investing in workshops and manufactories. Well, that's about to get kicked upstairs. If that's even a proper term. These are a little more expensive, but do it in areas that already has a workshop there. Because look how much it's going to give you. Only the ones that says 232. So. Even in Vijayanagar, I got 2. Those lower income countries are the provinces are probably due to the fact that they probably don't have a manufacturing, since some of them are lower developed, but we'll be sure to develop some of these, and we'll aim to change that. Well, see you next year, and then it's gonna really kick up. Have you finished your war fighting against the natives? Britain? No, they haven't. But they don't have the money, which I'm starting to feel a little envious. But where does that put us now? 3rd largest army, 4th largest navy. Most provinces, highest province value, highest income, but not yet on 2nd highest trade income. Well, what's the other country? I mean, I'm going to finish this episode soon, but I'm going to the ledger now. Who has the highest trade income? hold on. Somewhere. Comparison. Trade. Oh, we're way off on that link. Great Britain, of course. Of course, they have the highest trade income. But, but we are highest in taxation and production, far outpacing, you know, everybody. There you go. Took a while to get there. Only the second most is the Commonwealth. But Great Britain goes far in the lead for the trade income, which just cannot be competed. So there's just no way, but the total, however, is Mughals. We have the total highest income. So now you are in the lead, and maybe one day, by say late 1700s, I'm predicting, unless we take control of that Persian trade node to the west, whilst at the same time building workshops and manufactories all over, improving all of your mosques into great mosques, increased taxation, and all that, and then you'll get what you need. But Venice has the highest amount in gold income. Well, let me see. Areas that has gold mines. Not like that. They have control of this. They put that production level on that. Ambras Castle. Aha. So that's where they make most of their fortune from in gold, so do I even need to know what their inflation looks like? If there's a way to check on that. Oh, there it is. Inflation. I mean, obviously we're at low levels. Well, but that could be... I mean, and there's got to be a better way to rate this. That's overview. Income comparison. Which, again, we have the highest. We make more money than Great Britain on the overall total income. So I guess they were right. How did the Mughal Empire become, you know, the highest economy during the reign of Aurangzeb? Which, by the way, he lived until 1707. So he just, you know, recently passed now, is our own Alamgir Lodi. So I think I have a pretty good shot. I have a pretty good shot at one day becoming the economic hegemon. So that's what happens. So now I have a possible third and final major goal of this series, and we make territorial expansions to other areas a second priority. It's like, hey, we're the richest country in the world right now in the sense of income, but now with these counting houses and coming soon more manufactories to be built, in which I will definitely, I mean, in the next few wars we'll definitely have to invest in barracks, conscription centers, and all that, and then build 2 more, possibly 3 armies to cover all fronts, wherever we may fight, that the Mughals will be there, as well as the size of the navy to increase. We got enough transports. I'll probably increase it to 60 because of what we've been capturing, but it's highly doubtful that that you want to have more heavy ships. No, I don't think I can do that. That's probably up to England to be a naval hegemon. I'll stick to being economic. It would be a hell of an achievement for this playthrough. So we hope you people have enjoyed this episode, because in the next episode, well, hell, in the next episode, one thing's for certain. The Mughal Golden Era will be coming to an end. But honestly, I don't think it's really ending. As much as, well, it's never going to end, because the golden era is eternal for us. Because we are one of the largest armies in the world. And, but we are certainly the richest. Now, just for comparison's sake, Spain has the largest army in the world, and Great Britain's second, and we're far behind on that. Yeah, just want to look at that real quick since we were reminded. Now, what about the navies? Total. We're fourth. We could definitely outpace Denmark, but obviously, well, there's a reason why the British Empire existed back then. They've gone as far as the Philippines. And it looks like the Ottomans are nearly fully occupied by Spain, so they're about to lose in this participation. So that's the state of the world of 1691. And the next episode, another one for the 1600s, and then in the 2 episodes later on, we'll be entering into the 1700s. And it's not going to be until 1610 that we'll be entering into a new age, the age of revolutions. But until the next one, so long for now.